Yes, there's going to be plenty of dancing in the streets, Japanese style this weekend. A Japanese dance and cultural festival taking place down on the Esplanade on Sunday. Japanese communal dancing is one of the many events organised this weekend as part of the Cairns Festival. And Bill Cooney is here to explain what's involved. Bill, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really glad to have you here. Thank you for your time. Japanese bon dancing, part of the event this weekend. Can you tell us what that's all about?
Sure. Yeah, bon dancing is a style of communal dance. So, you know, when you go to a wedding or you go to a party, everybody gets up and does the nut bush or the bus stop. But not everybody seems to know exactly how to go. But there's always one person to follow. But bon dancing is a style of communal dance. It's really common at Japanese summer festivals. Everyone dances in a big circle surrounding a stage. It's called a yagura, and on top of the yagura there's usually musicians. We have drummers beating out the tempo while the music plays. And if you don't know what the dances are, there's dance leaders on the inside of the circle, and they show you what the steps are.
So anyone can take part, Bill?
We want everybody to join in. It's a really great opportunity for the Japanese people of Cairns to kind of share a really big part of the culture of Japanese summer festivals. They're a really big part of the Japanese annual calendar. It doesn't matter how big, how small a city or a town or village is. There's always some kind of summer festival event throughout kind of August. And many of Cairns' Japanese residents, they don't get to go home to their own summer festivals because that's a peak time for inbound tourism, and many Japanese residents in Cairns work in the tourism and hospitality sectors. So it's a great way for them to celebrate that part of their culture and share it with their adopted hometown of Cairns.
Yeah, sounds great. But what else will they be sharing with us apart from the dancing?
Oh, food. There's going to be loads of festival food stalls, and I lived in Japan for a couple of years, and the first time that I went to the Bon Dancing Festival here in Cairns, the sounds, the smells of the food cooking, it just took me right back there. It's probably the closest you're going to get to going to a Japanese festival without getting on a plane.
Yeah, all right. Now, look, what about how you got involved? I mean, clearly you've got an Australian accent, Bill. What's your relationship with the Japanese community?
Okay, so I work at one of the high schools here in Cairns, and I teach Japanese, and basically I got involved when my wife got involved, as she's one of the announcers. We have English announcers and Japanese announcers to help explain through what the dance steps are and explain what's going on, and explain the significance of some of the things that happen throughout the day, so that we can get as many people involved as possible. So that's kind of how I've ended up getting into things.
Yeah, great. So, look, obviously, quite a number of members of the Japanese community you expect to come down on Sunday.
Absolutely. It's probably the most well-known Japanese cultural event within the Japanese community around Cairns. And last year, the event moved to the Esplanade from the old Munro Park. And there was a massive increase in visitors coming along to the event. And so a lot of people were saying, well, what's this event? What's going on here? So this year, really trying to get the word out so people know ahead of time what they can expect and to make sure they bring their dancing shoes.
Sounds great, Bill. When and where? Where do we turn up?
Okay, so from 2 p.m. on the Esplanade next to the lagoon on the Western Events Lawn, from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. this Sunday, 4th of September. So if you want to start in the morning, Carnival on Collins, go check out some of the culture, some of the stalls there, pick up a few plants, and then in the afternoon head over to dance around as the sun sets over the Esplanade.
Beautiful. Bill, thanks so much for your time. Can you just, because we're going to finish off with this version of Let's Dance, of Bowie's
Sure.
Let's Dance, but can you introduce us for us? Because it's a slightly different version.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things about the Bon Dancing festivals that happen all around Japan is there's always like local dances and local songs. So what the committee's decided to do this year is we have had a Bon Dance for Cairns created that features actions that represent our culture here, so things like sugarcane cutting and crocodiles and swimming and wiping the sweat off up here in the tropics, and so because of that, and because we want everybody to come in and dance and to join in with us, we have a special version of David Bowie's Let's Dance that's full of Japanese festival sounds and music.
Beautiful. We'll hear a bit of that now to finish us off. Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Keir.
That's Bill Cooney, the organiser of the Japanese Dance and Cultural Festival, which is 2 o'clock, I think he said, on the Esplanade on Sunday, kicking off then, and they want you to come along and dance to pieces like this. It's 6 minutes to 7. News coming up at 7 o'clock.